Hello. So I forgot to upload the footage and stuff of my gear at the end of the run, just because I was extremely tired and wanted to go to bed. So basically when the run ended, I went to bed. I had stayed up for the entire time since the patch launched, pushing d100 to get that. I did it in the day of the patch releasing, so it was just under, I think, 18 hours. But, yeah. So, I forgot to show the gear, so I'll show it now, and the talent stuff. The only thing I don't have anymore from that run was the jewel I used, but the jewel was basically the same as this one, just a little worse statted, so I'll just cover it now. So, to start with, the bow I had equipped was this, but I only used this for the attack speed it had, because I was playing a cast build prior to switching to this setup, once I did some more theory testing and stuff. But basically, I just used this for attack speed. But then, partway through the run, I had this bow drop, and I equipped that instantly, because this bow is just much better for this style of build, because the +2 attack projectiles and the Cursed from Bane, pretty much guaranteeing that I have a Curse source from Mayhem to proc if I got it from Mort on bosses and elites. Demon Soul, absolutely cracked neck. This is insane, 70% damage, it's global damage, it affects absolutely everything for every skill. Then we've got over here, the helmet. This helmet is pretty much just here again because of the life and the masters, but I was running a cast build like I said, so the cast stuff was from when I was doing that. But yeah, in this actual setup, the only thing relevant is the life and the masters offer. Lamp, this is very good. There are better that you can get in terms of stat sticks, but during that run, this basically giving masters and legend offers is absolutely crazy. Very nice. Genie's alright as well for taking care of some of the like ranged ads and stuff that just want to run away from you. Chest piece. So this is actually very good, and it's not for the curse of the weakness thing. So basically, life and experience per second. The experience per second is going to give you 1 experience per second. Life is 113. Gem High requires you to get 1 experience per second. It requires you to get 1 experience for it to give you a stack. So this is pretty much every second giving me a stack of Gem High, and it's refreshing itself. The life increasing my life total, making it so when I got Inner Peace, I get more health regen, because it gives you percentage-based healing. If you're at full health, that percentage-based healing becomes experience based on how much it would have healed you. So this is just permanently stacking my Gem High to the max stacks, just keeping it there. Curse of Weakness is okay. Moving down to the ring. I mean, it's basically just here for the experience gain and the shard pool. The Silk Road, best belt in the game in my opinion. 75% legend offer, 2000 shard pool area, 12 life, 7 armor. Those last 2 stats are average, but the legends offer and the shard pool are absolutely cracked. Boots, I ran these for the life, like I mentioned. Movement speed as well. Attack speed, gloves, shard pool, attack speed, life, experience per second. Attack damage and attack speed amulet. So basically the one I had slightly worse stats on attack speed but more attack damage. I wanted more attack speed, so I put the so basically I'm using this version now. But yeah, that was basically the gear. Nowadays though, I do have this as well that I use, and I actually use these boots instead. These boots are very good for the projectile pierce and bounce, and then I have these 2 rings down here, which I prefer to use this one because of the experience gain and the experience per second and the slay attack. That's the only changes that have happened to my gear since. Talents, this is probably the only thing people actually care about. I run an attack build. I was running an attack build in that video. I know people are going to be like, push up their glasses and be saying shit like, but the strike build's cracked. The strike build. Fluff, have you seen the strike build? Fluff. Earth Spike. It does damage. I know. I don't care. I had people on Discord the entire time telling me to play the strike build and shit like that. No. Basically, I'm going to go through everything here and say why I run this and why I think it's better and why it's still going to be better. So first things first, alterations. This allows me to get more control over what gods I want. Being able to manipulate and choose the gods you want in your runs is very powerful, because then you could design your builds around them. Level up offers. This makes it so when I get the god I want and I pick the boon or the blessing, sorry, that I want to be leveling, I'm far more likely to get that god over and over again, because I have an increased chance to get level up offers. This means I can just turbo focus farm time, for example, get a bunch of Warp Strike levels, get a bunch of Force levels, but also because I'm constantly seeing that god, I'm more likely to see his legendaries as well. Experience Pool Area. This is a ranged character, you really need Experience Pool Area, because Warp Strike bouncing everywhere, you want to be able to collect those gems without having to run into enemies. Rerolls, more control over gods, so more rerolls indicates that I can obviously just spam reroll on certain gods to try and get their legendary blessings, or to get a certain blessing at the higher rarities. 2 points of attack speed. This is just so I could develop the tree further later. I basically came back up here and put those points in once I got to a roadblock down here, but this basically just lets me advance the tree. Movement speed, because in D100 the attack movement speed penalty is 60%, which is far higher than it used to be in Act 1. Plus enemies are running faster, plus their area size is bigger, like all these things compiling together. Movement speed just helps you avoid all that shit. And then you've got, over here, Ranger's Mark. This was the point where I said I put 2 points into something else. Your marked attacks have a chance to apply marked. Oh, sorry, your attack hits have a chance to apply marked. Chance is 30%. I have arrows bouncing everywhere constantly. I had like 7+ projectiles at one point in that run. This is pretty much always up on everything. Then 1 point into Serpentine Tips. This is just basically to make it so I could develop the tree, but the 4% base chance just to immobilize something every time marked applied. Every time I hit an enemy because marked. It's pretty good. Dash recharge speed, again, 1 point just to develop the tree, but 6% faster dash cooldown is pretty darn nice. 3 points in Hawkeye. Attack damage is increased by percentage of your strike damage. This may look redundant because of the fact I'm not actually going a strike build, but basically as you're running around clicking shrines, a lot of them are going to give you options that only pertain to strike. So for example, if you find the potions, I don't need power shit, I don't need car shit, I don't need summon shit, but strike is still on there. This means if I get strike damage roll from that, it's actually giving me attack damage as well as when I click any of the tarot card shrines that are around the map. If they give me strike damage, I'm getting attack damage value. So this is pretty useful. Now, Catwalk. This may look underwhelming at first, but remember, everything in the talent tree is a 4th multiplier when it comes to your stats in the game. So 200% is a lot better than it sounds, plus it's only 200 distance. 200 distance is about the size of the star crux that you see in the background. It's really not that far. Hunter, your attacks have a chance to deal critical damage against marked enemies. This stacks with your other critical chance, and it's additive to that critical chance, so if I have 50% attack crit and then I have this, I have a 60% chance to crit that enemy. It's very, very good. This is basically because Mark's always going to be up. This basically just reads, you have a 10% increased attack critical chance. Then we come down to Mark for Death. Mark for Death increasing the damage of Mark from 30% to 50%. This is pretty good. And then we have your attack projectiles bounce to nearby enemies. This does give you technically +1 bounce. It's very, very useful. And then you attack faster by 40%. Now this is where people started calling me an idiot, but generally this is better. And I'm about to give you a lot of rundown of why. You're immediately attacking at 40% increased attack speed, and it's technically 42% because we have 2 points of rapid fire up here. This means that you're killing the early enemies much faster. Just like when I made the guide about doing high level and high kill runs back in Act 1, the faster you're killing the early enemies, the faster you gain experience, the faster you accelerate your run, and the less problems you have because you start out power creeping the enemies themselves. That run didn't quite show that going off because of the fact I only actually got one god that I actually wanted, which was time. But, yes, 40% attack speed, plus then once you get Warp Strike and Force going, you are constantly proccing Force. This is more broken because of the amount of projectiles, pierce, and bouncing, and the projectile velocity and range that Lorien has in comparison to Maris pre-Act 2. This is more broken than that. This is why I am so confused why people do the strike shit. I know Earth Spike is strong, Earth Spike is extremely overtuned, but that is going to get nerfed. This will not. This stuff is completely fine. You could technically just put, instead of a point here, you could just put a point in here. But this stuff is definitely getting nerfed because of the way that the screen blow and the trigger proc chance is happening. It's ignoring the cooldown of strikes, which is why it's so busted right now. This will be fixed. But yeah, that's my rundown. Thank you for watching. I guess. I have an Averon video coming out as well, where I did D100 Averon. I forgot to put the build in that as well, so there'll be another one of these for that. Thank you very much for watching, I'll catch you in the next one.